Good morning. We're going to start with the old sage here doing practical spirituality. And we're going to start with my first book. My first book is called Duality is the Illusion. And this is a workbook. And I'm starting with this book, and I'm actually editing it as I start it because I'm going to put questions in the back of the book. So while I'm putting the questions in the back of the book, that'd be a good idea just to go through this and put the questions out here so that I can get some comments and I see what that might mean for everybody. So we're going to start with Duality is the Illusion. You can get this on Amazon. It is a workbook, as I said. It is my practical spiritual approach to how I would take a student from, I'm coming in, my life hurts, to the beginning of understanding of empowerment. My credentials go back to, obviously a psychic and intuitive, because this is celestial time, and you'll see that I do a lot of that, but I'm also a hypnotherapist, a Reiki master, a religious science minister. I have worked my whole life in one form or the other. I'm a Buddhist, I'm a shaman, but what I am is a human. What I am is a spirit creating experience in this human body. Okay, so I have had an awfully lot. I've got credentials hanging on the wall, nice and long ones, but practicality works better than all the credentials in the world. I love credentialing. I talk to dead folk sometimes. I'm a medium, but I'm not trained as a medium. I mean, I don't have a credential that says I'm a medium. I just do a lot of readings, and sometimes that particular energy, the energy of spirit that has passed over, some of your loved ones, will come through, and they have a voice, and I feel it differently in my body, and so I give that message. Okay. The spirit doesn't stop and say, oh no, I can't come through you because you're not certified with as a medium in some place. And I don't profess to be. I used to say forever, I don't talk to that Uncle Fred. He doesn't know that much more than he did when he was alive. But as I've grown older, I realize that there's many people, when you begin to lose people, it's great to hear from them. It's great to know that they're all right. And if you're not aware that there is another side, if you're afraid that there isn't anything beyond life, and maybe you'll do right and Jesus will say thank you or forgive you, or maybe Allah or Buddha, or who knows, it doesn't matter. If you hear from people that have passed and that you love, and you hear something from someone else's mouth that only that person could have known, then you're aware, absolutely, that person is there talking to you, and you can feel their energy if you're in any way in tune to that. If you're coming for a reading, of course you're in any way in tune to that, or you wouldn't be thinking about it anyhow. A lot of times you get your own messages from spirit, and they come through dreams. But back to the Duality is the Illusion. Chapter 1 is called just that. Duality is the Illusion. And, I had this vision, oh my gosh, 45 years ago maybe. I'm old. Like I said, maybe even longer than that, yeah. Where I was standing in my kitchen peeling potatoes, and a booming voice came through the ethers and said, "Duality is the illusion." And I'm like, oh, okay, because it's not the first time that I've heard this booming voice. And I actually read a couple of books where other people had heard that booming voice as well. So I thought, well, if I'm crazy, then everybody else is too. But I usually tell people a psychic is a crazy person that's figured out how to deal with it, maybe, or a not psychic. We're all crazy in one way or the other. That's just the way it works. I've been in mental health for years and years, and I know I deal with addictions an awful lot. For myself, I'm an addictions counselor, and I know that your spirit's taken over when a chemical comes into your body that makes the body stronger than the mind. It's not really, but it feels that way. But anyway, this duality is the illusion. I didn't know what to do with that. At the same time in my life, I was reading about Hands of Light. No, yeah, I was reading an old Barbara Marx Hubbard book, Hands of Light. And they also got that booming voice going, the universe doesn't need a diploma. I'm like, okay, because I was thinking, oh gosh, I don't have the diploma because Barbara Marx Hubbard has PhDs and I don't have PhDs. But so I found out later, much later, that that's a hallmark of Archangel Michael. I did not know that. I didn't do angels for a long time, and until another series of events happened, and I found out, oh, yeah, the angels and spirit guides and helpers, whatever you want to call them, main guides, they're there. They're on the other side. Dead folks go over there, but there's places for everybody, just like there's Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, there's people that live in India and people that live here. There's differences, but they're all one energy. Okay, there can be only, I'll say this so many times you'll get sick of it, there can be only one source, one present, one infinite power in this universe, and it doesn't matter what you call it. We're in it. We can't get outside of all it is, especially our little meat suit body here. Can you get outside of all that created the entire universe and everything in it? I don't think so. And outside of this, planet, there's other planets. They're not outside of creativity either. They're not outside of all it is. They're not outside of creation. They're just different. Okay? So, with that in mind, the duality is the illusion that came home to me. It became a large part of my teachings. It became a large part of my ministry. Okay? So, what duality is the illusion means now in a nutshell, and there's a lot more to this nutshell, is that there is two energies that creates three-dimensional reality. There's negative and positive. You can call it light and dark. You can call it good and bad. You can call it right, wrong. You call it any imaginary mess that you want. You can call it half both. But without that interplay between negative and positive, we couldn't coagulate the molecules, the energy, enough to have the density of matter that it takes for us to have a body and to walk through this life and experience what we came here to experience without remembering exactly who we are. If we were spirit and we knew exactly who we are, and we knew that we were just visiting here, this was our car and we were the driver, if we knew all of our past lives, there would be no real need to dive in to the third dimensional reality and experience what we're experiencing. We create energy with our body. They say there's enough energy in our body to run cities, and that's true because we're all energy. Everything's energy. So duality is the illusion, is about how to maneuver and manipulate and to understand which would you rather. Would you rather put your thought coin, your energy, that's your money, your energy is what you give. Would you rather put it in the negative bank or the positive bank? Would you rather experience back the negative or the positive? A good way to think about duality as the illusion is that there may not be any right or wrong, but here, that's what we came to create. We can put our energy in joy and create more joy, or we can put it in fear and we can create more fear. I have heard that in other planets, I don't know whether this is true or not, but it makes sense to me, that they have gone all the way to love or all the way to anger. I do astrology too, and Mars energy is all about anger and aggression and Dragos and dragons and all that Martian anger, fight, war. Okay, and then love, Venus the Venusian energy of sweetness and passion, and the Pleiadian constellation. People think that the Pleiadians went all the way over to goodness, light, and love. Well, then, according to Bringers of the Dawn and a few of those old books that were channeled about, aliens coming in, or the information about what they bring. If you go all the way over to love and joy, you can't coagulate reality. You cannot create a third dimensional space that way. You have to have a balance of both. You have to have the darkness so you can know what's light. And as long as you're here, you may not know. You may not be able to. You might be swimming in darkness one day, and oh my God, and you're angry and upset and afraid, and then the next day, or the next month, or the next year, you're all in joy. And that can happen if you're manic on a regular basis, up and down, But nevertheless, and I don't mean everybody that's manic is doing that. I have a tendency to kid around when I'm talking, but when we leave here, when we shed this body, then we look back and we know what we contributed more to. And it's the contribution that's important for each individual fragment of soul self. It is not the final outcome. It is how did you go along every day. There is something I wanted to talk about that kind of can bring this home, and that's driving. Almost everybody that's listening to me drives. Okay, you can be driving along, you can be in La La Land, you can be listening to, something calm and sweet. You can almost, when I drive often, I almost go into a meditation. It doesn't mean that I'm not there. It means that I'm absolutely present, and my monkey mind is shut off, and I'm just driving. And so I put all my attention to driving. Tibetans have a walking, they're not just Tibetans, a walking meditation where your meditation is you're walking and you're focusing on each step and how your foot feels as it hits the ground. Okay. Well, driving, you can do the same. And you can expect a pleasant journey. Your drive to work can be pleasant. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to run into a traffic jam now and then. But that can be pleasant too if you don't judge it to be, for some reason I can't get there on the time. But there might be a great reason why you can't get there on time. And you can put out energy that says, okay, this will be cleared up pretty soon. Or most of the time, if your energy is in the right place, for some reason, you'll decided that you need to pull off and go get yourself a cup of coffee, or you need to go a different way for something, and you'll miss the problem altogether. It'll be there for other people, but it won't be there for you. It was there, you can read it on the news later, but it didn't happen for you. On the other hand, if you're expecting negative, if you're an aggressive driver, if you're going down the road going, look at, he's never driving right, he doesn't have his horn, he didn't put on his turn signals, judge, oh, it's awful, more of that will happen in your life. And what will happen is your driving experience will be its own kind of hellacious meditation, where when you get in the vehicle, your blood pressure automatically goes up, you're hypervigilant, and you're judging every single person out there to do the wrong thing. And so guess what happens? They do. Because the energy that you put out is you're going to attract every driver that never remembered to use a turn signal, or everyone that slows down. All of that negative energy will feed your negative side. I'm going to get into later, but not this minute, about a pain body. And a pain body is how much pain you need every day in order to feel like things are normal. I don't need any pain. Hopefully when you're done listening to me for a while, you won't need any either. And if you do, God bless you. And enjoy your journey. Either way, it's just a journey. Life is a journey. Duality is the illusion in that journey. Duality, the devil, angel, right, wrong. A devil? We created a devil because everybody believes in it. If you believe in something strong enough, and everybody else, you can get everybody else to believe in it too, it becomes your truth. Draconian devil is out there. And if you would like to focus on that energy, you'll find it. There will be demons to galore in your life if that's what you choose to experience. What you don't understand, what I hope that I can teach you, is it is your choice. Now, some of these choices happened to you before you ever came here because you said, I'm going to learn some more about this, or I want to hook up with this individual and that individual, and I want to, we got contracts together, so we're going to learn more from each other, and it's called karma, and there's a wheel of karma, and we'll get into that later. My next book is either going to be called Escaping the Wheel, or choosing something else, or releasing the wheel. But the wheel of karma, the wheel of birth and death, isn't all that it's cracked up to be. It's time to graduate from third dimensional reality for many, many of us. And I hope you join me on my journey. There's David Wilcox is out there. He's one of them, talking extensively about ascension and things like that. Well, he is obviously, if you listen to him enough, he came from a very Christian background, and he is well steeped in biblical literature, and especially the Armageddon and the last days and Revelations. But he doesn't buy into fear with it. He's just talking about the solar shift that's most likely coming, and comes every so many, I think, 26,000 years, or I don't know. I'm dyslexic, so numbers and me, they're kind of fun. Anyway, I'll sign off for now because this has been long enough. 16 minutes and 20 seconds is about as long as anybody needs to listen to anybody. Anyway, I'll be back again with more about my book and more about who we really are. After we go through who we really are, we'll get into a lot more about what we can do about it, and how we can maneuver in this world the best possible way with the contract that we have, and find the most joy and the easiest path to take. With that, I say goodbye, blessings. The energy is in and through every one of us. I give thanks for this. I really sit and simply say thank you, Spirit. So it is.